What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Anchored In podcast. This is our first ever episode. I'm your host, Cohen Ingraham. Alongside me here today are co-hosts Jack Billings and Luke Fitzner. We have so much to talk about here today, so buckle in for the ride, and let's go.
Come get your duds in order, 'cause we're bound to cross the water. Heave away, me jollies, heave away. Come get your duds in order, 'cause we're bound to leave tomorrow. Heave away, me jolly boys, we're all bound away.
What's going on, guys? Here we go. Are you boys excited or what?
Oh my gosh, yes. Let's get it going here. I think we've been talking about this for a couple months.
The boys are here. We're ready to go. There's so much to talk about here today. Let's just start it off hot right away. Leafs playing right now as we are currently recording this podcast against the Detroit Red Wings. Whoops. And let's just talk about the performance against the Wild. It was a pretty tough one. Joseph Woll struggled in nets. Dennis Hildeby had to come in after 40. What's your guys' take on that game?
Jack, take it away, man.
I just think it was classic that, of course, where else is Marcus Foligno going to get his first career hat trick other than the Leafs? The Leafs themselves are just inhabitants for, these beeline players just for having the best games of their lives. I don't know. I think that game over that whole off and on over that away stretch that they had there, a lot of games they just looked tired. They looked beaten up on the back end, and it just didn't look good. The whole thing was you could see Quinn Hughes, the upside on that guy. I was saying today, anytime you see a big trade go on like that, it doesn't matter how many pieces go the other way. It's always going to be an underpay, just because the ceiling with a guy like that, he had 2 points, but I think the main takeaway from that is the guy put up 26 minutes, and you cannot get the puck off that kid's stick. So the matter of it is they hold possession so much, and that's something that the Leafs have always had trouble with having high percentage possession throughout their games, and maybe that's a testament to why they lose a lot of the time. But I just think the Wild looked like they had them locked down that entire game.
Yeah, no, I mean, Marcus Foligno able to collect the first career hat trick against the Leafs. Tired group out there in that game. Joseph Woll can't get it done. Quinn Hughes was able to collect 2 points on the night. A fresh body there for the Minnesota Wild. Luke, what's your take on Quinn Hughes and his production so far with the Minnesota Wild this season?
Yeah, Quinn Hughes has been good with Minnesota. Obviously, you get a trade to a new team, a guy like Hughes, you obviously expect maybe a little bit of a slower start. He's not going to pick up his usual pace with the new squad, but honestly, Hughes has been point per game so far in Minnesota as a defenseman, so he's obviously fulfilling what they expected of him on the front end. And on defense as well, even, he's looked good with the Minnesota team. They have a good defensive structure and a good defensive team already, and then 2 stellar goaltenders in Gustafsson and then Wallstedt, the 2 Swedes. So that team is looking really good, especially after adding the, dare I say, generational talent on the blue line. They get Quinn Hughes for, like you said, Billsy, a price that honestly is definitely worth paying. You give up a good couple prospects, Boyum, Rossi, but, whatever. It's Quinn Hughes at the end of the day. So I think, he's a great pickup for them, and the team just looks a lot better.
Yeah, I mean to,
Go ahead.
Yeah, the only thing I was really going to come across with that is you got to remember that Wild team that they saw was without Jonas Brodin, Matt Boldy, and Joel Eriksson-Ek. That's 3 massive pieces, and the fact that that's a testament to how good guys like Quinn Hughes are. Like I said, he held the puck and dominated every time he was on the ice, and the fact that he could lead the team to just pull off that win in that sense, missing those key guys. The Leafs have got to do better than that.
I mean, yeah. I can be kind of excited here, guys. I don't know about you. In the class fantasy group, I got Gustafsson tonight, so there's no complaints there for that one. But as a Maple Leafs fan personally, the boys are somewhat able to produce right now, a lot better than they were earlier on in the season. Austin Matthews finally stepping his game up. Nylander in injury trouble. That's a common case here. But the young guys like Easton Cowan, can we consider Matthew Nyes a young guy still?
I
Like,
mean,
borderline.
the way he plays, he's like a veteran out there. I mean, give credit where it's due. He's a great player, and he doesn't play like a guy who's been in the league for only a few years. But, I mean, yeah, certainly still a young guy, him and Cowan.
Yeah, no, like I remember when he came out in the playoffs, I believe it was against Tampa, the year that they beat Tampa and
Yeah.
advanced to round 2 for the first time. Out the gate, he was a dog. He was in the corners like crazy. He was trying to run people over. He just had blood in his eyes. Like he was just,
Yeah.
he was hunting out there, and I loved it from day one. I remember sitting there with my parents, and they were just like, wow, I love this guy. He's my new favorite guy on the squad, and I think everybody kind of felt that during that series when we seen him on the ice for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think too, just watching him coming up, obviously through University of Minnesota, everyone was kind of like comparing him to like he's just gonna be like a better replacement for Zach Hyman. Like he's gonna go get into those tough battles in the corners. He's built like a Mack truck, so he's gonna be able to win a lot of puck battles in and around the boards there. But like that's the thing is, I've said this year and year again, like that's another kid. Like his ceiling is just like who knows, but it just seems like every season he seems to step it up ever so much more. And that's not even a testament to like him playing with certain guys like Matthews or Willie. Like he's been moved up and down the lineup quite a few times now, and he's just a dog in every sense of the word. You guys like that are so versatile just because you can plop them in anywhere and they're gonna elevate that entire line.
I mean, like, Domi's producing. That's kind of off subject, but I mean, like, it's those guys like Nyes, Cowan, Domi, Ekman Larson's able to produce as well. Like, a lot of these bottom feeders, you can't consider them bottom feeders, but they're able to step up for the first line. They always have been, but we're seeing it right now more than ever. Nylander's out, so like a lot of these bottom feeder guys have to step up and they have to play their position to the max right now. And I think the Leafs are just struggling to find that balance and keeping it for the full 60 minutes in the game, and that's why they struggled against the Wild. And hopefully here, while they're playing against Detroit right now, we might be able to see a turnaround.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the full 60 minutes thing, I think the team, after they lost Marner, they kind of lost a big chunk of what that team was, and I think they're kind of rediscovering how they want to play this year. Berube obviously is kind of trying to guide them to a different play style than maybe they're used to, with Matthews and Nylander always being those high skill guys, and now they're kind of being forced to work a little harder, get in the corners a little more, and kind of play as a grittier team. So I think now that we're, a little over halfway through the year, the Leafs are kind of finding their step in the Atlantic Division. Like, they're a top team in this division. If we're being real, the past, 8 years now or so, they've been at the top of the Atlantic, and, a slow start for them this year, I think, isn't really going to make much of a difference when we get to game number 82. I think they'll still find themselves in a playoff spot.
Don't say the word Atlantic too loud here now. Jack
Yeah,
gets a little bit wound up here.
Foaming out the mouth as I heard that one. But yeah, it's just the analogy I like to make is like the Leafs' success is almost like a golf swing. There's so many things that have to go right for you to perfectly, stripe that ball. But the thing is, if you remember, like earlier on in the year, like the third line was the main production for the Leafs in Dakota Joshua and Bobby McMahon and Nicholas Waugh. Like that was like the killer line. And obviously the goal is that all four lines are producing like your Avalanche and your Florida Panthers. Like that's endlessly, that is the goal, but that the third line is capable of it. I've liked what I've seen from the fourth line. I don't think they're that far away from really getting rolling here and starting to demolish teams like we know they can. It's just seeing again, like Matthews is back on his regular pace, and like I get it, like time and time again, everyone's saying Matthews is back. It's the back thing needs to really tone down.
You're
a
the
bit.
number one guy for that.
Yeah,
though.
I know, and I'm probably the worst for that, so that's why I'm the first to say it. But even like if you look at some of the statistics as he's coming out of Christmas, like he's scoring like no other time. Like, they rant and raved that they claimed he was healthy at the start of the year, but I don't know what's happened to him after the Christmas break. He's really turned it on and he's shooting, and I think even people that aren't Leafs fans, that are just hockey fans in general, like, you can see the difference in the way he's skating it and, like, everything. I don't know if it's, like, a coaching thing or what he's done here, but, I know all Leaf fans are happy to see him back and rolling for sure.
And I guess that brings into the discussion the change in assistant coaches in the past few weeks, definitely having a positive impact here on the Leaf squad, especially on the power play, which was their biggest issue early on in the season. Do you think it's going to stay steady here for the rest of the season throughout? Or do you think this is just a hot streak? We got a new assistant coach, we're going to show off for him, show him what we can do. But once we get comfortable with a new guy controlling our power play, we're going to tone it to our level like we were earlier on in the season. Is it like a mental game, or do you think this is really going to be the big turnaround?
Yeah. Well, I think there's definitely something to be said about how well the Leafs have done since the firing of Savard, and it can't be a coincidence, obviously. Firing coaches obviously works and has proved to work in the past, and it seems to have worked again here for the Leafs, getting the power play going. The offense is obviously their number one kind of main attraction to that team, and it always has been with Matthews and Nylander and Nyes, Tavares, even all those guys like we just talked about have been getting it going. So I think the offense, now that it's clicking, has been a huge part of why the Leafs have been doing a little bit better here, despite the goaltending problems. But they have gotten Wool back, and Stolarz hopefully will make his return here soon. We'll wait and see on that one, though.
That's a great topic to bring up right there, Luke. Stolarz got signed up for the AHL here today, coming off of an injury. And the injury was just shortly after the Leafs spent heavy bank on this goaltender who was able to perform in the playoffs last year. Do you think he's going to stay there for long or play any, if many, games?
No, I don't think the stint is going to be long. What the shame is really is that, when he does get called back up to the first team, that's going to send Dennis Hildeby back down to the Marlies. Now, that is good problems. That's a good problem to have. I mean, when your number 3 guy is also buzzing, like Hildeby was fantastic in that comeback against the Jets. And again, like, Wall did get pulled in that Wild game, but again, like, touching back on the defense, sure, you don't want him giving up 6, but I don't think you can lay that all on him. I think goalies get hung out way too many times. It's just a matter of, it's not just like, obviously you need them to save the pucks, but there's a lot of like high danger chances that shouldn't be existing in the first place that the Leafs give up, and you can't just hang them out to dry every time. But again, like, we'll see. Stolarz comes back in. I don't think you got to hope that Wall kind of picks it up there and they do the 1A 1B thing that worked last year for quite a while.
It did.
It and that's the thing too. Like, those are two of the better goalies when they're on their game in the NHL. It's just seeing if both of them can stay healthy simultaneously, which we saw such a short period of last season. But I mean, I don't know. I think those 1A 1B tandems are how you win success, like, you win full stretches of games. Like, you see like Hellebuck and getting all those starts, and then he crumbles in the playoffs. Like, I just think that's just good for, like, just tenure for your goalies, like staying healthy and limber and just getting those starts and sprinkling them all about. I don't know. I think that's just a recipe for success.
Yeah, I think, like, when you look at guys or goalies specifically in the NHL that have been, like, top of their game for an extended period of time, it's such a short list of guys. Vasilevsky, you talk about Hellebuck, who's been up there as well for the last couple of years, but it's so hard to get your hands on a premier, top of the line NHL goaltender. So I think if you can do something like what the Leafs are doing and find 2 guys that are kind of, just pretty good, really good, but not, elite goaltenders, and you can just run that duo back to back 1A 1B, like you said, it can honestly, it can work out for you pretty well, considering, or I guess taking into account the fact that they can stay healthy, which has been the main struggle, I guess, for Wool and Stolarz for the most part in their time in Toronto.
Well,
That's the magic word, healthy.
Yeah, of course. And I guess the only team that's been able to do that in recent years has definitely been the Boston Bruins, right? That year that they had Swayman and Olmark.
So unreal.
And they were shifting in and out during the playoffs. They played the Leafs that year, and I felt bad for the Leafs that year. Watching game
Yeah.
1, game 2, like right out the gates, Boston's just bullying them, pressure on puck nonstop, 2 men on. Like it was sad to watch in the beginning. Leafs were able to balance it out here and there, but it was bully ball for the Bruins.
Yeah, like that that season I'll never forget because the Bruins had like an A1B, but they were two Vezina caliber goalies. I mean,
Easily.
obviously, like since then, Allmark's gone to the Senators and things haven't
Yeah, I was
gone
gonna
as
say,
smooth.
I wish we could get some of that quality of him in Ottawa, but not the case.
It's a different culture, I think. Like, I
Jeez.
don't know. Bruins just know how to win. Like a lot of Boston teams just know how to win. It's like you
That
hate to
seems to be
see
the
it,
thing.
but there's a winning culture over there for sure.
Well, big
Charlie-
cities, big spending, you know.
Boston's a prime sports city. Everybody knows it. The Patriots,
yeah.
especially right now with the NFL playoffs going on, Boston's hot. Boston Bruins are getting back up there. Jack Billings, little boy crush, what's his name there? Geeky, just is
The
on
goal scoring
fire.
machine.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, like talking about like the Olympics coming up, like
There you go.
he could have been a possible Olympic snub, but no,
Team
I'm just
Canada
kidding.
snub.
It's just again, he's one of those guys. I was talking about this before. Like, it's not those stats aren't sustainable. I think Geeky was shooting at like I don't know, something at like 16%, which is just unfathomable. Like that, there's no way that continues on. I mean, he had a hot little streak there, but I mean, I've got him in fantasy, so I've been watching very carefully, but
Oh
he's
yeah.
definitely cooled off, but that was to be expected. Like,
But I mean, when you look at it, he's still got one more goal than Leon Draisaitl this year, so that just shows how hot of a start he had. It was insane. Like, what was it? First month and a half even of the season, he was just pacing at the top. Him and McKinnon just going back and forth, scoring goals. Pretty insane to see. Like, just a random almost, you know, a random guy come out of nowhere and be one of the top scorers in the NHL. Almost
Jack,
got him on Team Canada for some people. I know, not you, Billsy.
I just remember Jack coming into class every single day with a smile on his face, and I'm like, oh, Geeky got a feel last night.
yeah, you just
Geeky
gotta
got
get
him up in fantasy, and now he's all fired up. He can't wait to
Yeah.
spill all the beans about Geeky this morning in class.
Well,
And-
I mean, we're touching on goals here. I mean, going back to the Matthews thing, like again, like Nate McKinnon's top in the league in goals. There's no doubt about that. But the thing is Matthews is only 11 back of him, which is crazy to hear because, you know, with how like slow Matthews got started there. And again, remember, McKinnon's only had 50 goals once. I think he's going to cool off. And do I think Matthews will pass him? Maybe not, but
whoa.
I think he's got the possibility to catch him,
Come
man.
on.
We've got a
Now-
lot of games left.
Now, I got a little soft spot for Nate Dogg. You can't be talking to two
Yeah.
Nova Scotians over
is
here
the-
about Nate
This
Dogg. and-
podcast is rooted in the East
Well, that's
Coast.
why I brought it
Yeah.
up entirely.
Well, Matthews, I'm a Leafs fan, and I can't say Matthews is gonna crawl up there at all. Like Nathan McKinnon has been just always up there, but just can't get over that bridge. Just can't get over that hump. And I think this year he's off to a hot start, and I think he can roll
Yeah.
through. If
He's
you
on
see
another
this
level.
this guy play, it's the same player every single game. There's no game where he takes like a day off. He's 100%
Mm,
every shift. The
yeah.
guy doesn't cool down.
Yeah, much like a Morgan Geeky in some respects.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
We're bringing it back to him, eh? Back in Boston, Morgan
No,
Geeky.
I mean, no, like I'm not even disagreeing with you. I remember seeing that like either yesterday or today, and I just thought that was wild that he was only 11 back because it just seemed to me like, yeah, he did have a slow start, but that just shows you the production this guy can rifle home.
I mean, it is true. You know, Matthews has been hot recently. I mean, I think every update I've written in the last week or two, I've mentioned a Matthews goal or an assist. So he had a horrible start to the season, if we're going to be real. He was just not hitting at all. And now, you know, he's been scoring goals like he's paid to do. And he's playing like the guy the Leafs, hopefully, you know, thought they had in him. And he scored 69 goals just 2 years ago. So, you know, they obviously have that guy still, and he's looking a little bit more like someone who can maybe hit 70 someday.
It will have to be next season. It will have to be next
It won't
season.
be this year. It won't be this year.
No, not at all.
No.
Speaking of the Leafs, they came up and they played against the Vegas Golden Knights on January 15th. The return of Mitch Marner. The Leafs were over in Vegas, so I guess you can't consider it the return. But the two faced off against each other. Mitch Marner has been absolutely hot for the Vegas Golden Knights all year round. Do you think that this was add and subtract thing for the Leafs, or do you guys think that this might have been the biggest mistake in the Leafs lineup for the last decade?
No, I don't think it's a mistake. The only way that I'll throw my hands up and say it's a mistake, again, this is only the first season without him. You got to let it sit for a bit before you jump off the bridge and just, say, like, run back to your ex and say you made the mistake. I don't know. We got our first little round of the Divorce Bowl, and I'm looking forward to it. We've got the second game coming up here. I don't think it's a mistake if they don't make the playoffs this year. I'll entertain that, but I don't know. I haven't got to worry that they're going to make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I think it just had to happen, to be honest. Something had to change in the Leafs core, and it's not going to be Nylander. He's been the hottest player out of all of them, and, Matthews is your guy at the end of the day. So I think Marner was kind of the odd one out for the Leafs. When you look at just coming down to it after that loss last year to Florida, it was just so obvious something had to change, I think, and it wasn't going to be the coach this time. And so finally they got rid of Marner, or, kind of he left. They got rid of him, kind of half and half sign and trade thing, and they ended up getting Waugh out of it, so not all bad either. But I think something had to change for them, and Marner was just the odd piece out that ended up having to be moved.
Yeah, I think the worst part about this whole thing leading up to this is that when Marner spoke to the media and he goes, I didn't think too much about it, as if this guy didn't have this game circled in red on his calendar since the day he signed with the Golden Knights. Like, come on, man. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, any player, time and time again, like, you look forward to playing the team that traded you. Like, don't lie about it. Don't, just be straight up. I don't know, that kind of stuff drives me nuts with some of these guys. It's just like, obviously they're not going to give you straight up answers all the time, but just to flat out lie is brutal.
And to bring up my next question here, I guess this one's kind of targeting at us personally because we're in Toronto right now. Sports media school. We're trying to be a part of this sports media thing, especially in the market of Toronto. That's what we're primarily focused in here right now. Do you think the media had this big part, like everybody said it was, like guiding Marner out of Toronto? Do you think the media also just has parts on all these superstars that Toronto brings in and then obviously just can't get it done and then they have to leave ultimately?
Well, it's a good question, and it's valid, it's something that you should take into consideration because, at the end of the day, these people are on their phones looking at social media like all the rest of us and seeing what's being said about them and how they perform day in and day out, which would be a tough thing that, 99% of us never would have to go through in our lives. So, I don't know how popular of an opinion it is, but I think that at some point, the media kind of did get to Marner and probably didn't drive him out of Toronto, but it's something that I'm sure he kind of felt at some points of his time here in Toronto. Whether it drove him out of the city or not is kind of, we'll never find out. Probably it's something that just he knows, and it's between him and his family. But
yeah, with stuff
I know
like
you
that,
got something to say here, Jack.
Yeah, it's just with stuff like that. People love to say like, oh, the media drove him out, this drove him out.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things that go on behind the scenes that we have no clue about. And people always turn a blind eye to stuff like that. Yeah, do I think the media had a certain influence on him leaving? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But again, he didn't win anything here. So, I mean, maybe, I think that's the main driving force as to why the guy left. I don't think he got shattered, got rattled over media comments and stuff like that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Hands up.
I heard the weather's pretty nice in Vegas too, Billsy. So
yeah, so
it's hard to. It's also I can just picture myself. I'm not a skilled athlete whatsoever, but I put myself in this situation. Oh, well, thanks. Jeez. I would just say, like, and if I was in one of these NHL players' perspectives here, like Marchand last year as well, you have the option to go to a city like Toronto. I've lived here for a few months already. You get the option to go to Miami. You get the option to go to Vegas. You get the
Yeah.
option to go to San Jose or Anaheim, like sunny coastal cities that Florida doesn't even have taxes, do they? Like,
No, that's the thing, that's
income tax,
Dallas,
like you're just making mad
Florida.
bread.
I don't know, like, would you rather make $12 million a year or $6 million a year? And live in a
Exactly.
sunny climate or live in the winter in Toronto? I know it's not a nice day out there today. It hasn't
Oh,
been
I'm
for a
looking out
couple
the
weeks.
window right now, and I'm praying
Yeah.
I was in Miami. My God.
Yeah, it's a little warmer there right now, I think.
I mean, so what? Do you guys think it's just like, why would you say no? Do you think this is going to become a trend where all these star players are getting offered these big bucks in these states that don't have taxes, or like
Mm-hmm.
winter, like they don't have a winter, it's sunny all the time, they can raise a family, that they don't have to worry about all these climate things?
Mm.
Teams usually will be able to set them up fairly well, no?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like, how do you say no to living in a place like Miami or like these sunny coastal cities in the US?
Yeah, especially like when a lot of those teams, like your Dallas, your Florida, and your Vegas, they're in win now mode. Those are all perennial playoff teams, and one of at least those three are in cup talks regularly.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I think that's a no-brainer. That's a spot you'd want to end up, right? I mean, whether or not, yeah, that's a plus, but even then, like the goal is to win cups at the end
Yeah.
of the day, boys. Like no kidding.
Yeah.
And Marner clearly saw that he wasn't going to get it here, so I mean, that's also why too he wouldn't get traded in his term just cuz he knew if he waited until the end, like, when you know what you've got, you hold out. So he knew he was going to get a massive team,
Mm-hmm.
and end up somewhere where he could be on pace to win a cup. Mind you, if Mitch Marner wins a cup with the Vegas Golden Knights, I don't even want to think about that.
You won't hear from me or Bill Z for
No.
a
where I'll end up
long
mentally
Yeah,
time.
see you guys
if I
later.
see that. But I don't think we'll have to cross that bridge. But obviously, knock on wood.
Well, I think one thing you said there was kind of interesting, Billsy, is that you look at the teams like Vegas and Tampa, Colorado, or not Colorado, Vegas and Tampa, Dallas, whoever, those warm teams, the low taxes, they're all in win now mode, like you said. And it got, like, I'm thinking now, is that just because of coincidence, or is it because these teams are attracting these players regularly to the fact that they're just constantly at the top of the standings? Because, the NHL has a salary cap. It's not like baseball where the Yankees are spending however many millions every offseason and they're always at the top. There's a lot more parity in the NHL, but I think
Yeah.
we're seeing kind of something develop now with these teams in specific that are making them kind of have an advantage over the rest of the league, especially the smaller market teams that aren't able to attract players.
Yeah, I think that's no mistake, Luke. It's no accident that any player that goes to the Florida Panthers has a career year all of a sudden. That's not by accident. That's all by design. I think all those teams, I think it is the tax thing, but again, like it's a different story too if like these low tax or no tax teams don't have high like prestigious players. Like you
Mm,
think about those teams and those are some of the most elite teams across the NHL. So I mean, yeah, it's brutal that they've got so much spending money, but again, like you got to start with good pieces to begin with. So I mean, yeah, they're all getting going now, but if it were, 5-10 years ago, it's a different story. Like they've built this from the ground up, all these teams.
Yeah.
So I definitely like that is a good point for sure, but I don't know. I just think it's more a testament to how good these coaches are, these systems are, these
mhm,
players, and like these guys have
Right.
played together for so long, right? A lot of these teams, like they've had a formidable 1 through 4 for a couple seasons. I mean, give or take a few players, but
mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Like, I think it's a no-brainer. I think California has pretty bad taxes, though. So, like, the coastal is on one side. It's on the East Coast. If you don't want to be on the West Coast for that.
Yeah, I
But,
think they're a blue state.
yeah.
So
No, the
you don't
taxes
get
are
the
heavy.
no taxes there. I mean, you get the nice weather, Hollywood, whatever, blah, blah, blah. See a celebrity every now and then walking down the sidewalk.
I mean, Celebrini and Will Smith seem to be loving it over in San Jose.
Oh, yeah.
These guys,
I mean, wouldn't you?
yeah, but I feel like these two guys are just always on social media having a blast out on the town. Like, they're not scared of public. You see some of these athletes where they're just getting delivery groceries. Like, they're not leaving the house because they feel like somebody's going to come up to them and start talking to them. Like, these guys are out. Did you guys see that video of the grandmother
Yeah, I know
flirting
what
with
you
the
mean.
two? Labrini played it cool, calm, and collected, but the camera panned over to Will Smith and he just couldn't keep together.
Yeah, I think that's just an age thing, man. Those two are media darlings, right? But you got to think about, look at their age, right?
Yeah.
They're chronically online, so
They're like us.
they're no stranger to being on camera at all.
No.
Just a different generation fully, It's no Sidney Crosby growing up shooting pucks into the dryer. These kids have been, getting elite level computer science shot training since they were 13 years old. It's a whole different generation, and these kids are just, fully different than things used to be.
Way more social media intake than Sidney Crosby. Way more TikTok scrolling.
I think that guy still doesn't have Instagram.
No, he might. Somebody's got to do some deep diving. I know he's got a little.
Yeah, he's got a burner.
hidden Insta
Him
in
and
there.
Kevin Durant are friends. They're on Twitter together.
He might have a burner.
Yeah.
Sid?
But like,
I
also
don't
he doesn't come off as the guy to have an like he doesn't seem like that.
I
kind
think
of
he's a big
amuses him.
email guy.
And he's a big cable
emailer.
big cable
Yeah.
television guy. He probably has Eastlink router, and he's got CTV News Atlantic playing in Pittsburgh every single night. He's
a
keeping
big,
up with the Halifax weather. He's
Big
a
Steve
big
Murphy
cable
fan.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got the news on at 5 Atlantic.
Oh yeah.
But you know what? We wouldn't have it any other way.
That's what made him who he is today. Maybe who
Yeah,
knows?
that's why we love him so much in the Maritimes. It's because he represents Nova Scotia wherever he goes.
So just
Italy
to
pretty soon. Don't
just
forget.
just to rewind a little bit, we were talking about how the Leafs are playing Detroit right now. Just a live update. Guess it's not really live because this isn't a live show. This is a podcast. But as of the recording, 1-1 at the end of the first, tied between the two. I got a funny story for you guys. It's about when so back in the day, me and my family used to go up to Newfoundland every summer. Dad used to be a big part in the Danny Cleary Hockey School. Danny Cleary, first Newfoundlander to ever win the Stanley Cup. Absolute legend down in St. John, I guess. Anyways, so it's George Street Festival the same week that they throw this thing. And so the big thing in Newfoundland, I was luckily able to be proudly screeched in this year. My stepmom on George Street, like during George Street Festival on George Street, goes with Danny Cleary, Dylan Larkin, my father, and a bunch of others. And she gets screeched in with Dylan Larkin. They kiss the cod together. My stepmom just got into hockey. She played hockey here and there as a kid, but this is just I'm amazed by it. I will say this story for the rest of my life, and it's just a topic she doesn't even bring up. I would be bragging about this every day of my life. This is a crazy thing to happen, and I had to share this story since the Leafs are playing the Red Wings right now, and Dylan Larkin will be an all-time Red Wing.
Yeah, honestly.
He's up there with Henrik Zetterberg.
Yeah. I think all-time
Yeah.
points,
Yeah.
the historic franchise, obviously.
Draper, he's an
And-
all-timer for the Red Wings.
Oh, yeah, and then we can't forget, obviously, you got Gordie Howe. I think he's been pretty good over the course
Sorry,
of his
boys.
career.
That was a terrible one on my part.
Steven. Nick
No, I mean,
Lidstrom.
but
none of those were
Ted
wrong.
Lindsay.
That team is so
No.
rich in history. It's unreal. They're one of the teams too. It's just hard to hate them.
Yeah.
One of
and
the
he's scored
nicest
goals
jerseys in the
already.
league.
Just a classic jersey, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. But I mean, the Habs have one of the the nicest jersey in the league, in my opinion, and I hate
That's
everything about them.
Personal opinion right there. I'm a big
Well,
classy guy. I would rock a Red Wings jersey if I was gifted one right now. I'd rock a Sioux Greyhounds jersey. I like that. Just the classic, but you got a nice
Yeah.
logo. You're able to get
Hey.
done with the logo. The logo
Ferris
speaks for
Bueller.
itself.
What did he wear on his day off? He had the Red Wings jersey on.
Yeah.
Don't forget it. Kanye West, he rocked a Wings jersey one day.
Red Wings jerseys are drip, Billsy. Get in the program.
Yeah, you're not listening. I'm not disagreeing.
You're rocking an Oshawa Generals cap right now. We're Q guys. We don't follow the O, but all
Yeah,
I know
whatever.
about the O is that Landon Sim and the London Knights used to run the show for a little while there. Like
Yeah.
London
it
Knights
wasn't much
still
of a
run the show.
competition. Really? London will always run the show, do you think?
Maybe. I mean, I've just seen London just steal so many Gens legends.
Yeah.
Well, so many. I'm really just referring to John Tavares. That actually broke my heart because people say like, Knights legend. Yeah, he had a good run there, but don't forget where you came from, John.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Have
saying.
you been a Gens fan since day one?
Yeah, because I used to go there as a kid, and like funny enough, I've got a signed stick from JT like 2008.
No
So
way.
you really get why I bleed blue. Like I've been
Wow.
pretty
He's getting
born into
emotional
it.
here. Watch out.
Yeah, I might tear up, fellas, but yeah, it's just I've been going to games since I was a kid. Even seeing like Beckett Seneke come up through the system there and
Wow.
just blow up out in Anaheim there. It's
Third overall.
yeah, it's something special to see. And yeah, like I said, I've been going to games since I was a kid. So
I guess we've also had the pleasure down on the East Coast. We've
Oh,
got
yeah.
the Wildcats. We've got the Mooseheads. Islanders
Yeah,
from
no big deal.
Charlottetown are a newer team. I don't think they've had many prospects. Like
No,
they're
I
pretty
don't know
limited on
any of
their
their all-time
NHL
players.
prospects. But like the Wildcats and the
And then don't forget
Mooseheads,
the
Sea Dogs,
Cape Breton, of course.
and Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eagles and
Yeah.
Sea Dogs. Sea Dogs, didn't they win the Memorial Cup by hosting it, but they were nowheres near? Like they got eliminated in the first round that year or something in the actual
Yeah.
Q playoffs, and then ended up winning the whole thing.
Thomas
Yeah, I think it
Chabot
was
was on that team.
Yes,
somewhere along the lines of that. Yeah.
A couple of Sens, and then Matthew Joseph as well played for the
And
Sens a
then,
couple years ago. He was on that St. John team.
but he's from the Panthers, no? No, maybe I'm just spewing.
Yeah.
I might just be
We're not up to
spewing,
date
but
on
like
our St. John Sea Dogs lore.
no,
but,
I'm a big.
Yeah.
I just follow the Mooseheads, the Wildcats,
Yeah.
because like last year I got the pleasure to watch the Wildcats with Desnoyers and stuff. That team's
True.
unreal. Gardner
Yeah.
McDougall, running the
Mhm.
bench there.
He's just so unreal.
Then we got like the Mooseheads. Growing up, I just remember the Mooseheads, the Memorial Cup run, able to win it way back. And Nate Dogg,
Oh, yeah.
like what
He's
a
insane.
pleasure.
We already talked about him once, but he's just that good, Bring
We
him
got
up
to talk
again.
about him as much as we like. Like
Yeah,
this is
honestly.
East Coast Pod. Nate
Yeah.
Dogg can have all the time in the world. Billsy's freezing over here, and he's
now
gone.
he's gone.
All right, folks, we are back. Sorry for the little technical difficulties we had right there. It's our first podcast. Things are going to happen, but we're back, ready to get the show back on the road. We're going to switch it up a little bit. We've been talking about hockey for a long time. Let's switch it up. Let's talk about baseball. Blue Jays lose Bichette. Can't get Tucker. Is this the end to the offseason for pickups and trades for the Blue Jays, or like are we just gonna say that's all? They've had
Yeah,
a
I
few
mean-
big pickups, but
I think the Jays are done, I think they went out and got their guy. They got Cease. They gave him a lot of money. Hopefully he works out for them. They got Ponce as well as a starter. And then, obviously they've made a couple of other moves, but lost out on Bichette and Tucker, which does hurt. They're hoping to sign one of the two. I feel like most of us fans kind of thought the same thing. Also got Okamoto over from Japan. So another addition to the lineup, at least to bring in at least one new bat kind of for this season. But it does hurt to lose Bichette, I think, a little bit and what he brought, at least offensively. And then also, again, the prospect of Tucker, but doesn't kind of materialize like so many other free agents for Toronto.
I mean, we were talking about it a lot there, like before the break there in Christmas time. But I was very, very foot down on the ground. I wanted Ketel Marte to be a part of the Blue Jays if we weren't going to keep Bo Bichette or get Kyle Tucker. Like I wasn't so hell-bent on getting Kyle Tucker, but Ketel Marte is just all of a sudden off the trade market here. He had a pretty decent deal. Blue Jays definitely would have been able to afford it, probably give him a little bit of extra cash on the signing bonus. Like, he's a older guy. I think he's in his mid-30s there, but this guy's an absolute demon on offense. He had probably one of his best seasons last year, one of the best infielders last year, and it just seems like he kind of faded away there. Do you think that is going to continue to be in the Jays' like vision since they haven't gotten Bo Bichette?
I don't know. I mean, like, you gotta hope so. Like, again, I did see a wild stat today, though, like an Okamoto stat. In the Japanese league, he hit 500 with a homer on Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So that's a
Really?
testament to
Wow.
how good this guy is. And he captained the I guess, for lack of a better term, like the Yankees of the Japanese league. So, I mean, he's a big deal. Like, time will tell like how that kind of transfers over. But to touch on your point, Cohen, I mean, I don't know. I think it's definitely still possible that a Ketel Marte signing can be done or trade. But, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, the longer we wait, it's
Yeah.
less probable. But I just think Ross Atkins, and he's always got something up his sleeve. I'm just gonna trust that he's gonna do something here. If he doesn't, I'm not. It's not end of the world because the team has still got the same pieces more or less to go on a big run again. So yeah, you got to have faith in what you've got as of right now. I mean, daydreaming about Ketel Marte coming in, obviously that's everyone's dream, but I don't know how realistic it's going to be.
It's like, I don't know. Luke, what do you think?
Well, the Diamondbacks, I don't know if you guys saw, but they traded the other day for Nolan Arenado from St. Louis. So, maybe now we're seeing that they're deciding instead of kind of selling off guys to maybe try and pick it up and work forward and try and keep the core that they have. So the thought maybe is that Ketel Marte might not be on the market anymore, and that's why the Jays haven't heard much about him. Because, obviously when there's a player like that, you want to put yourself in contention to try and get him. And I think the Jays, obviously, with the money that they have now and the team that they are now, would obviously be in the talks as one of the teams to land him. So I think if there is a chance that Marte goes anywhere, the Jays will be in the bidding war for him. But if that is the case or not, I guess it's what we're going to have to wait and see on.
I mean, do you think in the Diamondbacks, like in their room, do you think they were thinking maybe we should just try to build around Marte for the final years and see if he can build a squad that will keep us running even when he retires or he gets too old to be playing in the majors? Or do you think, maybe in Ketel's mind, he's like, Nolan Arenado wasn't enough for me. I still don't think this is going to be enough for the squad to be successful this year. I still want out. And then the news comes back up. Do you think the Blue Jays are going to pounce on the opportunity? Or do you think Ross Atkins he's cool where he's at now?
No, I think definitely if news strikes that Ketel Marte wants out, we're the first bidders by a landslide.
I'll run over to the office and I'll personally give a statement on why we need Marte. They should they should know it already. The guy's
I'll
an
shake all the
absolute
hands
dog
I
on the
need
field.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, they've got good pieces over there with Corbin Carroll and now Arenado. Yeah, I don't know. Like, a lot of the time, players kind of entertain a new scenery. Could Ketel Marte's new scenery be Toronto? Possibly. Like, it's not unheard of. Like, so many people like to dog on Toronto and say, "Oh, why would he go to the Jays?" Look at what they did last year. That's got to be a pretty good incentive for guys to come over here.
Yeah.
Toronto's not bad in the summertime. For the NHL, I mean, go to Florida all you want. I would have no argument on why you wouldn't go to Florida. Baseball time, you're going to Florida anyways for spring training. You're going to Dunedin.
Yeah.
Hot. And then you're coming to Toronto. By the time you get back to Toronto, we're getting into the 20s for temperature. So, like, you're not
Honestly.
getting that big of a change. And the atmosphere, we've seen it in the postseason, guys. It is better than any other. It might be up there with the Phillies for postseason. I think it is. If the dome is closed, people are going to get some ear problems.
Well, I mean, if there's one place you don't want to play, it's in the National League against the LA Dodgers. So, I
Yeah.
think there's also one thing for the Jays is, they're still potentially the top team in the American League for next year, whereas I think there's no question about it in the National League is who's gonna really just dominate over there. LA has a team that nobody else can even compare to with who they stack up with Shohei and Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Kyle Tucker now, not to mention Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts. It's just the list goes on and on. It's
Don't
insane.
Boring
even talk
baseball.
about it. Don't even. So, do you guys think they're gonna somebody's got to have to step up and say something in the league
Well-
here soon? Like the Dodgers, you give them an inch, they take a mile type thing. They
That's
have
what it kind of seems
too
like.
much money to know what to do with right now. Kyle Tucker was looking for a long-term deal, was he not? Like he turned down the Mets decently term deal, and then he takes the exact same amount of years. I think the Mets give him 4, Dodgers are giving 4,
Yeah.
right? And the Jays were willing to give him 8 plus.
Yeah, they were willing to give him 10,
They were willing to give him what he needed.
$350 million. That was the offer.
Yeah, geez. We were trying to give Bo Bichette free steaks.
Yeah, for life.
What's going
For
on here?
life.
What is going on that we don't know about? Billsy, I know you if you're given free steaks for a lifetime.
Dude, I'm doing that tenfold.
Yeah,
Mm.
over the Mets contract?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, like, he's had a lot of success here again, no World Series, but he's been one of the best hitters in the AL
Yeah.
for a good while. The team only got better as he's been here. And again, reminisce all you want. He's gone now.
Yeah.
But even then, the reason why I say, Dodgers boring baseball, I'm just tired of seeing every big fish go to the Dodgers. It's just as a baseball fan in general, forget being a Jays fan. It's just, I don't know, you lose a bit of excitement for the game just knowing that every big free agent is probably just going to go to the Dodgers.
Every big free agent that is supposed to be going to the Blue Jays. Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, I should say.
Okamoto.
Yeah.
Or no, not Okamoto. Okamoto did come to the Jays. Yamamoto did not go
Yeah.
to the Jays. He was supposed to, apparently. Or was it Kodai Senga? Which one?
It was
Not
Yamamoto,
Kodai
I
Senga.
think.
What's the closer?
Hiroki Sasaki.
Sasaki.
Right.
Because
think-
he was
I think-
another one that came up in the recent years.
Sasaki was one that I think every team had their hand in the honey pot with that one, though. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's terrifying. But yeah, it's just, Toronto fans are no stranger to heartbreak, is all I'll say.
Yeah.
Too much. It's even worse now that I live here. It
It's
hurts
only
a
gonna
lot
get
It
more.
worse.
really
pal.
is. It really is.
You get to witness the toxicity in person.
Yeah.
City was so bright while the Jays were in the World Series.
It was.
What a tumble it took whenever Game 7 happened.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll come back in full force. We
Yeah.
got spring
Yeah.
training coming up in March, and the fellas
Yeah,
will
it's
get
right around
buzzing
the
yet
corner,
again.
honestly. Home opener is 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm
Already.
itching for baseball. I
Yeah.
love it. Can't
Yeah,
wait.
honestly.
You know what? Catch us throwing an anchored-in watch party for Game 1 of the spring training.
Whoa, now.
Bang.
You heard
Put
it
it
here
down in the
first.
calendar, folks. Billsy's out here making plans on the spot. I guess that should just do it here, folks. We've almost reached the 1 hour mark. What a first episode it's been, boys. I am so
Yeah.
excited to finally get this podcast underway. We've been in the talks about it for at least 2 months now, and finally we stepped up and said, you know what, it's time. We got to get this show on the road, and we're here. Can't wait to be with you guys for the rest of the journey ahead. We've got so many more episodes, so much more content coming your way. Guys, anything else you guys want to say before we wrap this one up?
Yeah, I mean, it's been awesome to finally, like you said, get the podcast going after we've been talking about it here since we got to Toronto, and then finally, start to get the idea going in these last couple months, and now it's officially here. So it's been super fun so far, and the best is only ahead, I think.
Jack?
Yeah, I think this is only the start of something magnificent. Now we go anchored in forever, boys.
Anchored in
Yes, sir.
forever. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching this one. I'm Cohen Ingraham, co-host Jack Billings and Luke Fitzner alongside. Thank you so much for sticking around, and see you next time.